The house smells like old coffee and something else. Something that makes your throat feel tight with fear. Sarah Mitchell stands in her hallway, no shoes on. The floor is cold. Her hands shake as she holds her phone. The screen glows in the dark. 3:47 a.m. A text message sits there. She hasn't answered it. She can't. I know what you did, and I'm coming for everything. She looks at herself in the dark window. Her face looks tired, scared, very scared. Behind her, down the hall, a bedroom door is open just a little bit. She can't remember if she left it that way. She can't remember if she's been alone tonight. Outside, rain pounds on the roof. Lightning flashes. For just a second, she can see the neighborhood. Nice houses, clean grass, white fences. The perfect American neighborhood. But one house looks different tonight. The Henderson house, right across the street. Every single light is on. But nobody is moving inside. Just light pouring out into the storm like a secret being told. Sarah's hand moves to her door lock. Locked. She already checked it twice. But she checks again. And again. Fear makes you do things like that. Her breathing gets faster. The kind of scared that starts in your chest and spreads like ice water. Because somewhere between Tuesday afternoon and this rainy Thursday morning, her whole life broke apart. And the person who broke it, the one person she never, ever thought would hurt her. The one who smiled the most, who brought food when her mom died, who watched her kids like they were his own kids. The neighbor who felt like safety, until he became the danger hiding in the dark. People say you never really know your neighbors. Not really. You know the version they show you in the morning, the person they pretend to be at parties, the story they tell at school meetings, but behind the pretty garden decorations and the holiday lights, behind the "have a nice day" at the mailbox, that's where the real person lives. And sometimes, not a lot, but sometimes, that real person is waiting, watching, building something in the dark that you can't see until it's too late. This is a story about trust turned into a weapon, about the difference between the face someone shows you and what they really think, about how the most dangerous people don't hurt you right away. They're nice to you first, super nice. Because when someone makes you trust them completely, when they become part of your everyday life, when your children call them uncle and your husband calls them friend, they don't need to break into your house. You already gave them the key. Sarah Mitchell thought she understood her life. Nice, quiet neighborhood, the kind of place where people go jogging in the morning and bad things happen somewhere else. She thought she knew her neighbors, her street, the 7 families who live close by. Most of all, she thought she knew Daniel Henderson, 42 years old, used to be married but got divorced, high school teacher. Kids and parents loved him, the guy who never missed a block party, who helped the old lady next door with her groceries every Sunday, who coached kids baseball in his free time. The perfect neighbor, a really, really good guy. But perfect is always fake, and every fake performance has a reason behind it. The question that will stay with you isn't what happened between these two people. The question is why? Why does trust turn into something scary? Why does being friendly turn into something dark? And why didn't anyone see it coming when all the warning signs were there, hiding behind that warm, friendly smile? Because the danger was always there. You just couldn't see it until it was too late. Sarah Mitchell, 39 years old, works in marketing, mom of 2 kids. On paper, Sarah's life looks really good. She went to college, got good jobs, married to Tom for 14 years. Tom works with computers. 2 kids. Emma is 11, Lucas is 8. Nice 3-bedroom house. A golden dog named Biscuit. The perfect life. But perfect lives are heavy. Sarah's mom died 2 years ago. It was slow and sad. Her mom started forgetting things, then forgot everything. It left Sarah scared and sad. Now Sarah writes everything down, takes pictures of everything, saves all her text messages. If memory is bad, you need proof of everything. Her marriage to Tom is okay. That's the word she uses. Okay. They don't fight much because they don't feel much. Love faded somewhere between bills and doctor's visits for Emma's anxiety. Now they work together, like business partners, taking care of the kids, the house, making things look good. Sarah is good at solving problems, good at keeping things together. She smiles even when she's tired because that's what you do when you're holding everything up. But underneath, she feels invisible, like nobody really sees her. She looks in the mirror and sees someone playing wife and mom so well that she forgot who she really is. Sarah wants to be seen, really seen, in a way that has nothing to do with cooking dinner or helping with homework. And that wanting, that need to be noticed, is what makes this whole story possible. Daniel Henderson, 42 years old, history teacher, just got divorced. If Sarah is tired and invisible, Daniel is lonely. He hides it well, makes jokes about himself, and joins every neighborhood event, but you can see the loneliness if you look close enough. Daniel's divorce happened 8 months ago. His ex-wife, Rebecca, got married again really fast, within 6 months, to her gym trainer. Daniel mentions this a lot with a laugh that isn't real. No kids. That's what he wanted most. What his wife decided she didn't want. So now Daniel lives alone in the house they bought together. The house feels empty, like a ghost of the future that didn't happen. He puts all his energy into teaching. His students love him. He's the teacher who makes history fun, who remembers birthdays, who stays late to help kids who are struggling. To everyone else, Daniel is kind, caring, dedicated. But there's something else underneath. Something his ex-wife saw too late. Daniel doesn't handle no very well. When he loves too much, like super intense, like he needs you more than air. He studies people, learns what they do, what they like, what scares them. He makes himself important to them. And when that love or friendship isn't a strong back, he takes it personally. Really personally. His divorce wasn't clean. Rebecca tried to get a restraining order, a legal paper that says stay away from me. She said Daniel was emotionally manipulative and watched her obsessively. The court said no, not enough proof. Daniel's version? She was crazy, ungrateful, cold. Both versions have some truth. That's what makes this hard. Daniel moved to this neighborhood for a fresh start. New school, new neighbors, new identity as the friendly guy across the street. And for a while, it worked. Until Sarah Mitchell's mother died, and Sarah needed someone who understood grief, and Daniel saw his chance to become essential again. Tom Mitchell, 41 years old, computer engineer, not really there as a husband. Tom isn't a bad guy in this story. He's just not present. Physically here, but his mind is somewhere else. He works long hours, or says he does. His phone always buzzes with work messages. Weekends disappear into important work deadlines and computer emergencies. He loves his kids the way men do when they let the mom do all the actual parenting and now feel awkward with their own children. He loves Sarah, too, probably, in the way you love something familiar that you stopped really looking at. Tom doesn't notice when Sarah cuts her hair, doesn't ask about her day beyond, how was work? Doesn't see how she's drowning in taking care of everything. He sees a working household and thinks everything is fine. This not noticing, this well-meaning but terrible inattention, creates an empty space in Sarah's life, and Daniel Henderson steps right into that space. Emma Mitchell, 11 years old, worried kid, very observant, protective of her mom. Emma has her mother's eyes and her grandmother's sense for knowing things. She's the kid who notices everything, when adults are upset, when something feels wrong, the things adults think they're hiding. Since her grandmother died, Emma gets nervous about her mom leaving. She texts constantly when she's at work. She sleeps with her door open. She asks questions like, "Mom, are you happy?" in ways that make adults uncomfortable. Emma likes Mr. Henderson. He's nice. He helped her with a school project about World War II. He showed her how to make s'mores over a candle when the power went out last winter. But lately, Emma thinks Mr. Henderson comes over too much. She doesn't have the words for it yet, the way his eyes stay on her mother too long, the way he touches her shoulder when he laughs, the way he seems to know things about their family that Emma doesn't remember telling him. She just knows something feels wrong. And kids who feel that start paying very close attention.
The neighborhood is called Maplewood Heights. It's 35 minutes outside the big city, close enough for people who work there, far enough to feel safe. It's the kind of place people move to when they want good schools and low crime, and neighbors who care about keeping their grass nice. The kind of place where everyone knows the best coffee shop, and the neighborhood Facebook group has 300 members who argue about when trash gets picked up. Riverside Drive, where Sarah and Daniel live, is the good street. Big trees, a creek behind the houses that cost a lot of money. 7 families are close neighbors. The Mitchells at number 12, the Hendersons at number 15, right across the street, the Chens, next door to Sarah, old couple, married 53 years, came from China and speak Chinese at home. The Rodriguez family at number 9, loud, happy chaos with 4 kids under 12. The Pratts at number 18, no kids, moved from the city, have wine parties, and secretly don't like kid noise. The Johnsons at number 6. Both parents are doctors, teenagers leaving for college soon. And Mrs. Kowalski at number 21, an older woman whose husband died, but who takes care of herself just fine. This is a community that acts like they're all friends. Block parties, holiday decoration contests, the neighborhood watch group that mostly texts about suspicious Amazon delivery guys and cars we don't recognize. But like all neighborhoods, some people do more work than others. Some people are more important. Sarah is on the HOA board. She didn't want to be. She organizes the school fundraiser every year. She coordinates bringing food when someone gets sick. She's the mom friend, even to people without kids. The one who remembers birthdays, who brings extra chairs to parties, who fixes problems with nice text messages. She holds everything together, and everyone, including Daniel, knows it. When Sarah's mother died, the neighborhood helped. Food appeared on her doorstep. Cards piled up. People offered to watch the kids, walk the dog, buy groceries. Daniel's help was different. He didn't just drop off food, he stayed.
He sat with her while she cried hard at the kitchen table. He listened to stories about her mom without looking at his phone. He showed up day after day after day, with a steadiness that felt like real friendship. Because it was real. At first. The problem with grief is that it creates closeness fast. When you're hurting, the person who sits with you without judging becomes precious, necessary. Sarah needed Daniel's friendship during those dark months. It was like a rope thrown to someone drowning when her marriage felt empty and her kids needed more than she could give. But needing someone can go bad, especially when the person you need starts needing you back. Not for friendship, but for meaning, for proof that they matter, for proof of their own worth. In this neighborhood, what people think of you matters a lot. Daniel needs to be seen as good, helpful, necessary. His whole identity is wrapped up in being the guy people rely on. And Sarah, tired and grieving and starving for real connection, accidentally becomes the center of his entire emotional world. Neither of them sees it happening until it's already way too late to fix.
It starts small. It always starts small. 3 months after Sarah's mother's funeral, Daniel begins showing up without being invited. Not every day. He's too smart for that. But 2-3 times a week. Always with a reason. Hey, I picked up extra coffee. Thought you might need it. I'm going to the hardware store. Need anything? I have these extra burgers from the grill. Figured the kids might like them. Each time it seems nice, neighborly, kind. Sarah accepts because saying no feels rude. Because she does need the coffee, the help, the small kindnesses when Tom is working late again and Emma is freaking out about a math test and Lucas has a meltdown over homework. But then the texts start. Normal at first. How's your day? Then more. Saw your car wasn't home this morning. Everything okay? Then weird. Emma seemed quiet at the bus stop. Is she all right? Sarah doesn't think much of it at first. Daniel is a teacher. He notices kids. He pays attention. It's actually kind of nice that someone cares. That's what she tells herself. But Emma notices. Mom, why does Mr. Henderson text you so much? Sarah looks at her phone. 3 messages from Daniel in the last hour. Nothing important, just there. He's a friend, honey. Friends text. Dad doesn't text you that much. The words land like a rock thrown into still water. Sarah has no answer. One evening in late October, Tom is traveling for work. A meeting in Texas. 3 days. Sarah is parenting alone, which means chaos. At 8:47 p.m., after finally getting both kids to bed, she falls on the couch with a glass of wine. Her phone buzzes. Daniel, saw your lights on. You doing okay? She types back, barely. Single parenting is hard. Daniel, I can imagine. Hey, I made too much pasta. Want me to bring some over? You shouldn't have to cook after today. It's thoughtful. Really thoughtful. But some feeling she can't name makes her wait. That's really sweet, but I already ate. Thank you, though. A lie. She hasn't eaten since lunch. Daniel, you're sure? It's no trouble. Positive, but seriously, thank you. Daniel, anytime. You know I'm here if you need anything. Literally anything. The word literally stays in her mind longer than it should. The next week, Sarah has book club at her house. 6 women in her living room, cheap wine, expensive cheese, a book nobody finished reading. Daniel shows up halfway through. Hey, sorry, I saw the cars. I just wanted to drop this off. He holds up a container. Pumpkin bread.
Thought you ladies might like it." The group loves it. Daniel smiles, waves, starts to leave. But then Jessica Pratt, always the troublemaker, calls out, "Daniel, join us. We need a guy's opinion on this book." He says no. They insist. He gives in. Sarah watches him sit in the armchair, charming and funny, making the women laugh. He fits right in. But his eyes keep finding Sarah. Not obviously, just, often. And when the group talks about the book's main relationship, a marriage falling apart, Daniel catches Sarah's eye and holds it for a second too long. Some people just stop seeing each other. They're in the same room, same house, but they're not really there anymore. That's the real sad part. The room agrees. Sarah looks away first. November brings the first uncomfortable moment. Sarah and Tom host Thanksgiving. Extended family comes. Daniel's not invited, he's not family. But he shows up anyway. "Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt." He stands on the porch holding a pie. "I know you have company. I just wanted to drop this off. My grandmother's recipe." Tom answers the door. "Oh, Daniel, that's nice, man. Want to come in? We've got plenty of food." "I don't want to interrupt." "No way, come on in." And just like that, Daniel Henderson is at their Thanksgiving table, making Sarah's aunt laugh, helping Emma with her plate, asking Tom about his work. He's perfect. Too perfect. Sarah's sister, Lindsay, pulls her aside in the kitchen. "Who's the neighbor?" "Daniel. Lives across the street." "He's very focused on you." "He's just nice." Lindsay raises an eyebrow. "Sarah, he's been staring at you like you're the only person here." "Don't be silly." "I'm not. And Tom hasn't noticed?" Sarah looks into the dining room. Tom is talking to Daniel about computers, not paying attention. Tom doesn't notice much these days. Lindsay's face changes. Worry and pity. "Sarah? I'm fine. Daniel's a friend. That's all." But even as she says it, doubt creeps in. Because Daniel's hand had touched her shoulder when he arrived and stayed too long. Because he remembered that she likes dark meat from the turkey. Because he brought her mother's favorite kind of pie, pumpkin with walnuts. And nobody told him that. How did he know? December. Holiday party time. The neighborhood goes crazy for Christmas. Lights, decorations, competitions for best house. Daniel wins. His house is amazing. Professional lights, matched to music, a real show. The neighborhood gathers one evening to look at it. Kids run around drinking hot chocolate. Adults drink spiked cider. Sarah stands with other neighbors watching the light show. Daniel walks up. "What do you think?" he asks her specifically, even though others are there. "It's beautiful, Daniel. Really impressive." "I did it for you," he says quietly. The words drop into the cold air like stones into snow, almost silent, but somehow devastating. "What?" He smiles. "I mean, for the neighborhood. For everyone. To bring happiness." But his eyes say something else. And Mrs. Chen, standing nearby, sees the whole thing. She says nothing, but she sees. They always see.
Inside Daniel Henderson's mind, a story is forming. She needs me. Not wants, needs. Sarah is trapped in a bad marriage. He can see it clearly, the way Tom ignores her, the way she never really smiles when Tom's around, the way she lights up when Daniel pays attention. She's drowning, and nobody else notices.
Daniel tells himself he's being a good friend, that he's helping without wanting anything back, that he's a good person. But late at night, alone in his house, the truth is harder to hide. He imagines situations, conversations where Sarah says she's unhappy, moments where she realizes that what she's looking for has been right across the street all along. A future where Tom is gone, divorce, moving away, accident. He doesn't think about details, and Daniel steps in as the person who was always there, the person who truly saw her. He doesn't think of this as crazy. He thinks of it as understanding. He's understanding what Sarah herself hasn't figured out yet, that she's settling for less, that she deserves better, that better could be him. This is how it always starts, with reasons, with turning desire into rescue. I'm not chasing her. I'm waiting for her to see the truth. Daniel begins writing down Sarah's life. Not on purpose at first, just paying attention. He notes what time she leaves for work, when the kids catch the bus, what nights Tom works late, what car Sarah drives, make, model, license plate he memorized, what she orders at the coffee shop, oat milk latte, 1 pump vanilla, her favorite wine, cheap red wine from Trader Joe's, her mother's last name before she got married, Johnson. He found this in an obituary online. He follows her social media, all of it. Sarah isn't on it much, but it's not private either. He scrolls through years of photos, her wedding, the kids as babies, posts about her mother's sickness, vacation photos, work stuff. He learns her entire life through pictures and posts. And he begins showing up places. By accident. Or so it seems. The grocery store on Thursday evenings, Sarah's usual shopping night. The coffee shop Saturday mornings. The walking trail behind the neighborhood where she sometimes jogs. Hey, fancy seeing you here. Sarah smiles, makes small talk, leaves thinking nothing of it. Because running into someone once or twice makes sense. Once, twice, even 3 times. But by the 7th accident, something inside Sarah starts whispering that this is too much. At home, Daniel's bedroom has changed. He tells himself it's normal, just staying organized. On his laptop, a folder labeled Riverside Drive with photos. Mostly normal, houses, neighborhood events. But some are zoomed-in pictures of Sarah at parties. Her face, her smile, her talking to others. A spreadsheet tracking Sarah's schedule, color-coded, Monday through Sunday, morning, afternoon, evening, work, kids' activities, personal time. It helps me be a good neighbor to know when she might need help. A calendar on his wall with her appointments marked in red, Emma's teacher meeting, Lucas's soccer games, Tom's business trips. So I can help when she's overwhelmed. A notebook, handwritten, with notes. December 3. Sarah looked tired, dark circles under her eyes. Asked if she was okay. She said fine, but I don't believe her. Tom left early for the gym, didn't help with breakfast. She does everything alone. December 8. Saw her crying in her car after picking up the kids. Didn't go over, didn't want to embarrass her, but I wanted to. God, I wanted to hold her and tell her it's going to be okay. December 12. She laughed at my joke about the HOA president. Real laugh, the kind Tom doesn't get anymore. I make her happy. I know I do. This is the breakdown, the slow falling apart of the line between caring and controlling, between friendship and obsession. Daniel doesn't see himself as a stalker. Stalkers are dangerous, crazy, violent people. He's just paying attention. He's just someone who actually cares. But obsession doesn't announce itself. It dresses up as devotion and knocks politely on your door with food and pumpkin bread. Meanwhile, Sarah's inside world is cracking in different ways. She starts noticing things she can't unnotice. Daniel's car sitting across the street longer than needed. Daniel at the grocery store when she told no one she'd be there. Daniel mentioning details about her schedule that she doesn't remember sharing. She tells herself she's paranoid, that grief and stress have made her suspicious of kindness. He's just a nice neighbor. I'm seeing things that aren't there. But the human body doesn't lie. Her body knows before her mind accepts it. Her heart beats fast when she sees his texts. Her stomach tightens when he shows up without warning. She starts checking her windows before changing clothes, a habit that just appears. She starts pulling back. Shorter answers to texts. Busy, maybe another time, to coffee invitations. She stops mentioning personal details. Creates space. This is healthy. I need boundaries. But Daniel notices immediately. And he doesn't think it means Sarah is setting healthy boundaries. He thinks it's Tom's fault. Tom pulling her away from real connection. Something he needs to fix. One night, Daniel sees Tom and Sarah fighting through their kitchen window. He's not spying. He's walking his dog, but their voices carry. The window is open even though it's December and cold. Tom, you're never happy. I work so hard for this family. Sarah, I'm not asking you to work less. I'm asking you to be here when you're home. Tom, I am here. Sarah, your body is here. That's not the same thing. Tom, so what do you want from me, Sarah? What would make you happy? Because I don't know anymore. A long silence. Then Sarah, quieter, I don't know anymore either. Daniel stands in the dark, his dog sniffing a bush, his heart pounding. She said she doesn't know what would make her happy. She needs help figuring it out. She needs me to show her. This is the moment, the exact moment when Daniel's delusion becomes something he'll act on, when he stops waiting and starts planning. He begins setting up situations. He accidentally mentions to Emma that her mom seems stressed, asking if everything's okay at home, planting ideas. He tells Mrs. Chen he's worried about Sarah, that she seems overwhelmed, that Tom doesn't seem very supportive, that he just wants to help but doesn't want to overstep, creating witnesses to his concern. He starts leaving anonymous nice notes in Sarah's mailbox, typed so nobody can trace them. You're stronger than you think. You deserve to be happy. Someone sees you. Sarah finds them creepy. She mentions them to Tom, who shrugs, probably some neighbor trying to be nice. She doesn't tell him how the notes make her feel watched, studied, known in a way that feels wrong instead of comforting. By January, Daniel's inside story has completely changed reality. He truly believes Sarah is in love with him but doesn't know it yet. Tom is mean to her. He's not. He's just absent. Sarah sends him signals all the time. She doesn't. She's being polite. He is the only person who truly understands her. Their connection is meant to be, destined. He's not doing anything wrong. He's getting ready for the future they'll share.
This is the dangerous change, completely rewriting reality to fit what he wants to believe. And Sarah? Sarah is beginning to realize she's not paranoid. Something is very, very wrong. The turning point comes on a frozen Tuesday in mid-January. Tom leaves for a week-long work trip to Seattle. Sarah is parenting alone again, which has become normal. The morning Tom leaves, Sarah finds a package on her doorstep. No return address, no Amazon sticker, just a cardboard box with her name written in clean block letters. She opens it in the kitchen while the kids eat breakfast. Inside, a leather journal. Beautiful, expensive. The kind you buy at fancy stores. A note tucked inside the front cover, handwritten this time. For all the thoughts you carry alone, you deserve a space to breathe. A friend. Sarah's hands shake. This isn't normal. This isn't neighborly. This is too personal. And she suddenly, completely knows who sent it. That evening, after putting the kids to bed, Sarah does what she should have done months ago. She searches online. She Googles Daniel Henderson plus his ex-wife's name, Rebecca. She finds Rebecca's Facebook page, public. Anyone can see it. She shouldn't look. It's not right. But fear wins over manners. Rebecca's page is mostly private now, but there's one public post from a year ago. A long, raw essay about surviving emotional abuse. No names mentioned, but the timing matches perfectly with Rebecca's divorce from Daniel. Parts that make Sarah's blood run cold. He tracked my every move, called it caring. He changed reality, made me doubt my own memory. He separated me from friends by making himself the only person who truly understood me. When I tried to leave, he said I was abandoning someone who loved me more than anyone ever would. The restraining order was denied because he never threatened violence. But control doesn't need violence to destroy you. Sarah slams her laptop shut, heart hammering. She tries Tom's cell. Voicemail. She texts, "Call me when you can. Important." He doesn't respond for 3 hours. When he does, "Sorry, dinner meeting ran late. Everything okay? Kids good?" She stares at the message. How does she explain this? How does she say, "Our neighbor is obsessed with me," without sounding crazy? "Kids are fine. We should talk when you're back." Tom, "Okay, love you." The words feel hollow, empty. Sarah suddenly understands why she let Daniel's attention fill the space, because Tom's love has become background noise, there, but not felt. But Daniel's attention? That was a spotlight, bright and focused and impossible to ignore. And now she realizes it was never warmth. It was burning her. The next day, Sarah calls in sick to work, something she never does. She needs time to think, to understand, to figure out what to do. She avoids her windows, ignores Daniel's texts. "Hey, saw your car in the driveway. Everything okay?" But at 2:25 p.m., her doorbell rings. She freezes on the couch. It rings again. Through the peephole, Daniel, holding flowers. Her stomach drops. She doesn't answer. He knocks. "Sarah, I know you're home. Your car's here." Silence. "Sarah, I'm worried about you. You didn't answer my texts. I just want to make sure you're okay." "Go away. Go away. Go away." "I brought flowers, just to make you smile." Minutes pass.
Finally, his footsteps leave. Through the window, Sarah watches him cross the street, looking back multiple times. The flowers sit on her porch like an accusation. That night, Sarah calls Lindsay. "I need to tell you something, and I need you not to think I'm crazy." She explains everything. The texts, the gifts, the showing up, the journal, Rebecca's post, all of it. Lindsay is quiet for a long moment. "Sarah, you need to tell Tom. Tonight. He's in Seattle. I don't care. Call him right now. This is serious." "What if I'm overreacting?" "You're not. Trust your gut. Has your gut ever lied to you?" "No, never." Sarah calls Tom, tells him everything in a rushed, anxious flood of words. Tom's response is disappointing. "Sarah, I think you're stressed. Daniel's a little socially awkward, sure, but Tom, his ex-wife, wrote about emotional abuse." "You don't know that was about Daniel. Who else would it be?" "Listen, I'm not saying you're wrong, but Daniel's a high school teacher, a little league coach. He's not some dangerous stalker. He's just lonely and maybe doesn't understand boundaries." "Tom, we'll talk about it when I get home, okay? Maybe I'll have a talk with him, man to man, set some boundaries." Sarah wants to scream. Instead, she says, "Okay, fine." Because what else can she say? Tom isn't taking this seriously. He thinks I'm anxious, paranoid, stressed, seeing danger where there's just loneliness. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I am overreacting. But that night, Sarah triple checks her locks, and she sleeps with her phone under her pillow with 911 already typed in.
At 2:34 a.m., Sarah wakes to a sound. Not loud, not super threatening, just wrong. A scraping, metal on metal, quiet but clear. She lies frozen, listening. It comes again, from downstairs. The back door. Someone is trying the handle. Sarah's breath stops. Her hand closes around her phone. The scraping stops. Footsteps on the back deck. Slow. On purpose. Then silence. Long. Scary silence. Sarah slides out of bed, goes to Emma's room. Her daughter is asleep, peaceful, doesn't know. She looks through Emma's window, which faces the backyard. A figure stands at the trees, just beyond the fence, backlit by the neighbor's security light. Tall, male, wearing a dark jacket, watching the house. Sarah's heart pounds so hard she thinks it might explode. She raises her phone to call 911. The figure doesn't move. She starts to dial. Her phone buzzes in her hand. A text message. The vibration violent in the silence. From Daniel. "Can't sleep either. I'm here if you need to talk." Sarah looks back at the window. The figure is gone. She runs to every window in the house, checking, searching. Nothing. No one. But her back door handle, when she checks it in the morning light, has fresh scratches around the lock. Scratches that weren't there yesterday. And that was the moment everything changed.
Sarah doesn't call the police. This is the thing people don't understand about situations like this. The freezing that comes from not being sure, the fear of overreacting. Women are taught to doubt their own sense of danger. What will I say? Someone tried my door? Someone stood in my yard? Daniel texted me at the same time, but that doesn't prove it was him. I'll sound crazy. Instead, she installs Ring doorbell cameras, 2 of them, front and back. Battery-powered, easy to set up, hidden. She doesn't tell Tom. He'll just say she's overreacting again. She doesn't tell Daniel. Obviously not. She just watches. For 3 days, nothing happens. Tom returns from Seattle. Sarah tries to explain her fear again. He listens, but looks impatient. Sarah, I talked to Daniel when I got home, just casually. Asked him to give you some space, said you've been overwhelmed and need breathing room. He totally understood, said he was sorry if he'd been too much. He said, sorry? Yeah, he felt terrible, said he didn't realize he was being overbearing. He's going to back off. Sarah wants to believe this so badly. Did he seem, I don't know, weird, angry? Weird? No, he seemed like Daniel. A little lonely, maybe. Really concerned about you. Tom's face softens. He touches her shoulder. The first real touch in weeks. Baby, I think you're carrying too much. Maybe we should look into therapy. For you, I mean, to help with the anxiety. For you. Not couples therapy, not for us. For her. Because she's the problem. She's the one seeing things that aren't there. Sarah nods, because fighting takes energy she doesn't have. Yeah, maybe. But she doesn't believe it. And she checks her Ring camera footage all the time. 4 days after Tom's return, the footage shows something. 3:17 a.m., back camera. A figure approaches the house. Same build as before, face hidden by a hood. He doesn't try the door this time. He just stands there, in her backyard, for 11 minutes, staring at the house. Then he leaves. Sarah's hands shake as she watches the footage again and again. She needs proof, something nobody can deny. She screenshots the figure, zooms in. It's too dark to see his face, but the size is right, the height is right. She sends the screenshot to Lindsay with a message. Someone is coming to my house at night. I'm not crazy. Lindsay calls immediately. Sarah, this is evidence. You need to file a police report. I can't prove it's Daniel. You don't need to prove it. You need it written down. If something happens, nothing is going to happen. Sarah, Lindsay's voice is sharp. Listen to yourself. You're making excuses for someone who's scaring you. File the report. Sarah files the report the next morning. The police officer is professional, but distant. He takes her statement, looks at the footage on her phone. The person never tries to get in. No, but, and you can't identify who it is? I think it's my neighbor. Daniel Henderson. You think or you know? I think. The officer nods. We can drive by more often. I'd recommend keeping your cameras on, writing down everything. If the person tries to get in or makes direct threats, call 911 right away. But what about now? Can you talk to Daniel? Ma'am, we can't question someone based on just suspicion. If you get clear footage showing who it is, we can follow up. But right now, you have video of someone we can't identify standing in your yard. That's not a crime unless they try to get in. Sarah leaves the police station feeling more helpless than when she arrived. The system can't help until something bad actually happens. By then, it might be too late. That evening, Sarah takes matters into her own hands. She crosses the street, knocks on Daniel's door. Her heart pounds, every instinct screams at her to run, but she needs to face this directly. Daniel answers, surprised. Sarah, hi, wow, I haven't seen you in a few days. Come in. No, we need to talk out here. His face changes. Hurt? Confusion? Okay, is everything all right? Someone has been coming to my house at night, standing in my yard. I have video. Daniel's face shows shock. Perfect. Practice, Chuck. What? That's terrifying. Have you called the police?
I have. Good. God, Sarah, I'm so sorry. Do you want me to start watching your place? I can set up extra cameras on my side. Daniel, her voice is like steel. I need you to stay away from my house, from my family, from me. Silence. The mask slips. Just for a second, his eyes go flat, empty. Then the warmth returns, but it's wrong now. Fake. Sarah, I don't understand. Have I done something to upset you? The texts, the gifts, showing up all the time. It's too much. I need you to stop. I was just being a friend. Friends don't track my schedule. Friends don't leave anonymous notes. Friends don't stand in my yard at 3 a.m. His face hardens. You think that's me? In your yard? I don't know what to think, but I am telling you clearly, back off. Daniel steps closer, not threatening, just closer, too close. Sarah, you're stressed. You're not thinking clearly. Tom told me you've been struggling with anxiety. Don't. Her voice shakes. Don't gaslight me. I know what I know. What you know? His voice drops, becomes something else, something bitter. You don't know anything. You don't know how much I've helped you, how much I've been there when Tom wasn't. You don't know what it's like to watch you suffer in a marriage that's killing you slowly. Stop. To see someone incredible being ignored and undervalued, and you won't even admit that what we have is real? We don't have anything. Sarah's voice breaks. You're my neighbor. That's all. I never, ever gave you reason to think otherwise. Daniel stares at her. His jaw clenches, emotions flash across his face, too fast to read. Finally, you're scared. I understand, but you're wrong. About me. About us. You'll realize it eventually. There is no us. There could be if you just let yourself see it. Sarah backs away. Stay away from me and my family. I mean it. She turns and walks back across the street, feeling his eyes on her the entire way. When she reaches her door, she looks back. Daniel is still standing there, watching, not moving. Just watching and smiling. That night, Sarah tells Tom everything. The confrontation, Daniel's words, the crazy quality beneath his friendly mask. Tom is finally taking it seriously. Jesus, Sarah, I'm sorry. I thought he was just awkward. I know. We should get a restraining order. Based on what? He hasn't threatened me. He hasn't touched me. He's just obsessed. The footage doesn't show his face. The police already said they can't do anything. Tom paces their bedroom, running hands through his hair. Okay. We'll write down everything, every text, every interaction, build a case. And I'll start working from home more. Be here. Sarah nods. It's something. Not enough, but something. They go to bed tense, alert, waiting. At 4:43 a.m., Sarah's phone explodes with notifications, ring alerts, front camera, back camera. Someone is circling the house. Sarah and Tom jump out of bed. Tom grabs a baseball bat. Sarah calls 911. They watch the live camera feed on her phone. A figure. Daniel's size, Daniel's walking slowly around the house, looking in windows, testing doors. The 911 person, police are coming. Stay inside. Don't go out there. 4 minutes, 6 minutes, 8 minutes. The figure finally leaves.
Police arrived 12 minutes after the call. They search the property, find nothing. No one. Sarah shows them the footage.
Clear video of someone circling the house, but the face is hidden. Hood up, head down, knows where cameras are. Ma'am, this is definitely trespassing. We'll follow up with your neighbor, but I have to be honest. If he denies it, and we can't prove who it is, it's hard to build a case. At 8 a.m., police knock on Daniel's door. Sarah and Tom watch from their window. Daniel talks to them for 15 minutes, animated, concerned, cooperative. The officers leave. One stops at Sarah's house. Mr. Henderson was home all night. He showed us his home security footage, clear timestamps showing him inside, lights off, not moving. He's very concerned about what's happening to you, even offered to be a witness if you see the person again. Sarah's blood runs cold. That's impossible. That was him. Ma'am, his footage has timestamps. He was home. After the police leave, Tom and Sarah sit in shocked silence. He faked it, Sarah whispers. He somehow faked the video. Or hired someone. Or Tom trails off. Sarah, if he's this calculated, then we're in more danger than we thought.
Sarah doesn't sleep for 2 days. She researches, deep internet searches into Daniel Henderson's past. What she finds makes everything worse. Daniel didn't just have one restraining order filed against him. He had 3. Rebecca, his ex-wife, that's in public records. But before Rebecca, a girlfriend in his previous city, filed and approved, expired after a year. And before that, another teacher at his old school, filed and denied for lack of proof, but the paperwork is available through public records. Same pattern every time. Begins as friendship or relationship, gets more and more obsessive, victim tries to set boundaries, Daniel sees boundaries as challenges, behavior gets worse, victim runs away. Sarah finds Rebecca's phone number through a mutual friend's Facebook. She calls. Rebecca answers carefully. Hello? Rebecca, my name is Sarah Mitchell. I live across the street from Daniel. I need to know what happened to you. Long silence. Then, oh God, he's doing it again. They talk for 90 minutes. Rebecca tells Sarah everything. Daniel is methodical, patient. He studies people, learns their routines, their weak spots, their wants. He makes himself exactly what they need. He becomes essential, Rebecca explains. That's his method. He finds women who are overwhelmed, isolated, or in bad relationships. He offers help, becomes a friend first. Then he starts changing reality. What do you mean? He'll tell you things about yourself that seem insightful but are actually manipulation. He'll create situations where you depend on him. And when you try to pull back, he'll make you feel guilty, like you're abandoning someone who loves you. He told me I'm in a marriage that's killing me. Of course he did. He needs you to believe your life is broken so he can position himself as the fix. Sarah's hands shake. Rebecca, how did you get away? I didn't really. I ran. Changed my number, moved to another state, locked down all social media. The restraining order didn't stop him. He contacted me through fake accounts for months. It only stopped when I threatened federal stalking charges. Did he ever hurt you? Physically? No, that's the thing. Daniel doesn't need violence. His weapon is psychological. He makes you doubt yourself, makes you feel crazy, separates you from people who support you. He destroys you from the inside. What should I do? Rebecca's voice becomes urgent. Document everything, every text, every encounter, every time he shows up. Build a pattern nobody can deny. Get a lawyer. File for a restraining order even if you think it won't work. It creates a paper trail. Tell everyone in your life what's happening so he can't manipulate the story.
And Sarah? Yeah? Don't underestimate him. He's not some lovesick fool. He's smart, calculated, and patient. He will wait months, even years, for a chance. He believes you belong to him. That belief doesn't go away just because you say no. Sarah hangs up and immediately calls a lawyer who specializes in restraining orders. The meeting is sobering. The challenge is proving immediate danger or a pattern of harassment. You have documentation, which is good, but courts are reluctant to grant restraining orders based mostly on uncomfortable behavior without direct threats. So what do? Keep documenting? File police reports every time he violates boundaries? Create a timeline with dates, times, descriptions? Get statements from witnesses, your sister, neighbors, anyone who's seen his behavior. We'll compile everything and file. But I want you to understand, even if we get the order, it's just paper. It doesn't physically stop someone. So I'm just supposed to wait until he actually hurts me? The lawyer's expression is sympathetic but realistic. Unfortunately, the legal system reacts to things after they happen, not before. The best defense is awareness, documentation, and community support. Sarah decides to tell the neighborhood. She sends an email to the Riverside Drive group chat, the 7 families who are her close neighbors. I need to make everyone aware of a situation. Daniel Henderson has been engaging in concerning behavior toward my family, showing up unannounced, tracking my schedule, and recently trespassing on our property at night. I've filed police reports and I'm pursuing legal options. I wanted you to know for safety reasons and to ask that if you see him near our property, please document it and contact police. I'm not trying to create drama, but I can't stay silent anymore. The responses are mixed. Mrs. Chen, I believe you. I've seen the way he looks at you. We will watch. The Rodriguezes, that's scary. We'll definitely keep an eye out. The Johnsons, thanks for letting us know. Stay safe. But the Pratts? This feels like a private matter. Not sure why you're involving the neighborhood. And Mrs. Kowalski, Daniel has always been lovely to me. Are you sure you're not misunderstanding his kindness? The lack of total support hurts. But Sarah understands Daniel has built his image carefully. To most people, he's still the helpful teacher who coaches kids baseball. Dangerous people don't wear signs. 2 days later, Sarah receives a letter. Hand-delivered. Left in her mailbox. Not from Daniel. From a lawyer representing Daniel. It accuses Sarah of harassment, lying about him, and causing emotional distress. It demands she stop all false statements about Daniel, take back her email to neighbors, and stop contacting him. It threatens to sue her if she doesn't. Sarah reads it 3 times, hands shaking. He's playing victim. He's flipping the script. She immediately forwards it to her lawyer. Her lawyer's response. This is standard Darvo. Deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. It's actually helpful for our case. It shows he's monitoring your communications and trying to silence you. Don't respond to his lawyer. We'll handle it. But the damage is done. Within 24 hours, half of the neighborhood has turned on Sarah. Mrs. Kowalski stops waving. The Pratts file a complaint with the HOA about Sarah creating a hostile environment. Anonymous comments appear on the neighborhood Facebook page accusing Sarah of bullying a lonely man and false accusations. Daniel, meanwhile, plays his role perfectly. He posts on his own Facebook. Difficult week. Being falsely accused is one of the most painful experiences I've endured. I understand my neighbor is going through a hard time, and I hold no ill will. I'm just heartbroken that my attempts to be supportive were so misunderstood. I'm praying for healing for everyone involved. The post gets 63 likes and dozens of supportive comments. You're such a good person, Daniel. Some people are so ungrateful. Stay strong. Sarah reads it and feels physically sick because this is the genius of his manipulation. He hasn't denied anything specific. He's just positioned himself as the hurt party, the misunderstood helper. And the community believes him because he's been building this story for years. While Sarah, she's the stressed out, anxious wife who's clearly struggling. Who would you believe? Emma comes home from school crying. Mom, kids are saying you're mean to Mr. Henderson, that you're lying about him. They're saying our family is crazy. Sarah holds her daughter, anger and helplessness fighting inside her. Baby, sometimes doing the right thing means people won't understand. But we're not crazy and we're not lying. Then why doesn't anyone believe us? Sarah has no answer that an 11-year-old can understand. Because dangerous people are good at hiding. Because society protects men's reputations over women's safety. Because nice is not the same as good. That night, Daniel's house goes dark. Every light off. Car gone. Tom checks the ring footage. Daniel left at 6:47 p.m. with a duffel bag. Where did he go? Sarah whispers. They don't know. And not knowing is somehow worse than watching him watch them. Because now they can't see him coming.
3 weeks pass. Daniel doesn't return. His house sits empty. Mail piles up. Lawn goes uncut. Sarah calls the police for a wellness check. They find the house locked. No signs of problems. No information about where he went. Daniel Henderson has vanished. Sarah should feel relieved. Instead, she feels hunted because she knows what Rebecca told her. He doesn't give up. He just changes methods. Sarah's lawyer successfully files the restraining order, even though Daniel isn't there. The judge approves it based on the documented pattern and Rebecca's testimony about Daniel's history. But a restraining order against someone whose location is unknown doesn't help much. If he violates it, call police immediately, the lawyer advises. But you're right to stay alert. People like Daniel often see restraining orders as escalation rather than stop signs. The neighborhood slowly goes back to normal. Some neighbors apologize to Sarah. Others avoid eye contact. The Pratts sell their house and move. Too much drama. Mrs. Chen becomes Sarah's fiercest defender. She knew something was wrong, she tells Sarah over tea one afternoon. Men like that, they remind me of someone from my village in China. Charming until you reject them, then dangerous. Emma sees a therapist to process the trauma of feeling unsafe in her own home. Lucas, thankfully, seems mostly unaffected, too young to fully understand what happened. Tom tries. He works from home more. He starts real conversations. He goes to couples therapy with Sarah. They're slowly rebuilding what broke down. But some cracks don't fully heal. They just become part of the structure. Sarah changes. She's super aware now. Checks over her shoulder, changes her routines, never posts where she is in real time on social media, researches every new neighbor thoroughly before introducing herself. She joins online support groups for stalking victims, learns she's not alone, learns the numbers. 1 in 6 women will be stalked in their lifetime. 75% of stalkers are known to their victims. Most stalking gets worse over time. Restraining orders are violated in about 60% of cases. The numbers are horrifying, but also validating. This happened to me, and it wasn't my fault. 6 months after Daniel's disappearance, Sarah gets a call from an unknown number. She doesn't answer. Voicemail. Hi, Sarah. This is Detective Martinez from the Portland Police Department. I'm calling about Daniel Henderson. Could you please return my call when you can? Sarah's blood runs cold. Portland, Oregon. She calls back immediately. Miss Mitchell, thank you for calling back. I'm investigating a case involving Mr. Henderson.
A woman here filed a report for stalking and harassment. During our investigation, his previous restraining orders came up, including yours. I wanted to ask if you'd be willing to provide a statement. He's doing it again. Yes, ma'am. And your testimony could be crucial in establishing a pattern. Sarah provides a detailed statement. So does Rebecca. So does the girlfriend before Rebecca. 3 women, 3 similar stories. A pattern nobody can deny. Daniel Henderson is arrested and charged with felony stalking. The trial is 8 months away. Sarah doesn't feel victorious. She feels exhausted because she knows this won't end. Even if Daniel goes to prison, which is unlikely, stalking convictions are hard to get, he'll still eventually be released, and he'll still believe she belongs to him. Some obsessions don't die. They just sleep. Sarah and Tom host a neighborhood safety meeting. They discuss cameras, communication, watching out for each other. They create a support network. Sarah shares her story publicly, not for sympathy, but for education. She tells the gathered neighbors, "I ignored warning signs because I didn't want to seem paranoid. I stayed silent because I was afraid of not being believed. Those instincts almost destroyed my family. Trust your gut. Believe people when they say they're uncomfortable. Document everything. Community awareness saves lives." The meeting ends with hugs, promises, renewed bonds. It's not closure, but it's solidarity. 1 year after everything started, Sarah drives past Daniel's old house. A new family lives there. Young couple, toddler in the yard, welcome mat on the porch. Life goes on. But Sarah will never forget. The smile that hid a knife, the kindness that masked obsession, the neighbor who taught her that danger doesn't always announce itself with violence. Sometimes it knocks politely and brings food.
2 days after visiting Daniel's old house, Sarah receives a package, no return address, postmarked from Seattle. Her hands shake as she opens it. Inside, a single photograph. It's recent, taken from far away with a zoom lens. It shows Sarah outside the coffee shop last Tuesday. She remembers that day. She was meeting Lindsay for coffee. No note, no message, just the photograph. Proof that someone is still watching. Sarah flips it over. On the back, written in familiar block letters, "Distance doesn't change what's true. I'm still here. I'll always be here, waiting for you to understand." Sarah drops the photo. Her therapist's words echo. Stalking rarely ends, it just changes form. She files another police report, increases security, warns her family, but deep down, she knows. This isn't over. It will never be over, because Daniel Henderson didn't just want her friendship or her love. He wanted to prove that his version of reality was stronger than hers. And in his mind, he's already won.
The house lights glow warm against the evening dark. Inside, Sarah Mitchell moves through her routine. Dinner, homework help, bedtime stories. From the outside, it looks like peace. But she checks the locks twice now, looks at the street before stepping outside, sleeps with one ear always listening, because she learned what hides behind the neighbor's smile. And once you see it, really see it, you can never unsee it again. The monsters aren't always strangers. Sometimes they're the ones who wave from across the street. If this story unsettled something in you, if it made you question the friendly face at your door, the next one will take you even deeper into the darkness, where trust becomes a weapon and kindness hides the knife. Some betrayals don't end with blood. They end with you wondering if you were ever really safe at all.